What's up, everybody? I got another firearms video here. This is a Remington Model 783. Move that remote. Chambered in 30-06. There's your model. This is a cheap, low budget rifle. And what we got here? Remington Arms Company, Huntsville, Alabama. They're all made in different places in America. Caliber 30-06 SPRG stands for Springfield. And then here's the serial. What's on this side? Anything barrel wise? Well, shit, if I can get the right spot. Nope, nothing on the barrel. Okay, so this is a bolt action. There's your bolt handle. Click it up. She slides back and forward to chamber your rounds. I will show you now. The gun is empty. Here's the magazine. Box magazine, just like a 300 Win Mag. It holds 4 rounds. 4 rounds in the mag. And you'll click it in there, and I can get my bed sheet out of it. Pull that, push that. Well, I struggle every time. There we go. Click. You're good to go. This one is on safe. The safety is right here. The trigger does not pull. This is also a little trigger safety here too. Right down in there, where the trigger doesn't move unless you depress this lever. To take the bolt out of this gun, it's that little lever right, the little button right here. You press it like forward or down, and you can take the bolt out for cleaning. So the 30-06, that is, in my state, probably the most popular hunting cartridge ever, next to the 30-30. I do not have a 30-30. I wish I did, but I don't. I did have one, but I had problems with it misfiring, which is like, you rack your action back and forth and it chambers around into here. Then you shoot it, it just goes click. There was no bang. I even checked it for squib load, where the bullet will get stuck in the barrel. It wasn't that. Turns out the firing pin was rusted up, and it would go forward with enough speed to click, but not enough speed to hit the primer and fire the round. On top here, this is a Tasco scope, very cheap scope. I mean, you can probably get this thing for maybe $100, if even that. And she kicks pretty good. It doesn't kick too bad. The recoil's pretty tame. It's just loud, because it comes out of the muzzle here at 2,500 feet per second. So the faster that round is coming out of the muzzle, the bigger bang you get. So back to the 30-06 Springfield. 30 is the caliber. It's 30 caliber round. The 06, to my understanding, is when it was adopted by the military. So I'm guessing 1906. That could be wrong. Check into that. Research 30-06 and find out what year, if that is the year. So the round itself, John Moses Browning is the guy that came up with the idea for something like this. This action here, this bolt action, the way it moves back and forth, the locking blocks would be up in here and back here. They're all, these bolt action rifles were all copied after the Mauser action. And Mauser made incredible firearms. I don't know about them now, but back in the day, everybody copied the Mauser because it wasn't trademarked and it wasn't patented, as far as I know. So anyway, if you were in World War II and you were a Marine, you were issued, for your sidearm, a Colt 1911 45 caliber ACP. That is the handgun you were issued, your sidearm. Your rifle at that time was the M1 Garand. Some people call it the M1 Grand. And it was an 8-round, magazine fed 30-06 semi-automatic. 1 round per trigger pull. And initially, John Browning was developing the rifle for the military, and he designed it to be 10 rounds chambered in .308 caliber. And then the military's like, well, we have literally millions of M2 ball ammo, which is 30-06. That's what they call it. Make the gun chamber the M2 ball. Just find a way so we can have the ammo, put the guns out to supply our troops on the front lines. You know? And John Moses Browning has been involved in some way, shape, or form with almost every firearm design you find. But this thing, it's just John Browning's idea was just a perfect combination. I can't believe this gun. Now, one thing about this, it is for hunting. It's a hunting rifle. You can hunt deer with this. You can hunt elk with this. Coyotes. Interestingly enough, coyotes here in my state are what's called open season. So deer season in my state opens in October and closes out at the end of January or the beginning of February. Bear season is different. I can't remember what that is. And then coyotes are open season. So there's only certain times of the year that you can hunt deer here. You can't just walk out and, shoot a deer in your backyard and be like, oh, I got some meat. No, it has to be in season or you can get in trouble. So we had the bucks. That's the male deer with the big horns on its head, the rack. And then we have does, the female deers, and they do have their own season for them, doe season. I can't remember what that is either because I'm not a hunter. I don't hunt, but I have cousins that do. And then coyotes, open season. You can kill them anytime you want. Like one could walk up in my yard right now. I could walk outside on my 12 gauge or this and drop it right where it stands because they like to kill other animals and things like that. So I'm guessing that's why. But this gun, before I got it, I don't know if it's ever been in the woods hunted with or anything like that. But I haven't hunted with it. I've just target practiced. And this scope is dialed in just perfectly. It's crazy how this little scope that maybe costs $100 can hit something up to 100 yards, no problem. I'd like to see if I can maybe get the bolt out. You pull back like that, and then you push this down. There we go. The bolt comes out. So this is your bolt. Right here, this little hole. It's where your firing pin sits. When you pull the trigger, there's the end of the firing pin right there. It looks like it goes through this steel, pushes forward, and that comes out. The tip comes out that hole, and that's what hits the primer on the back of the round. Now, right here, this is what locks up into this area right here to keep it solidly locked up so the gun doesn't explode when you shoot it. I may put the bolt back in at the end of the video. I'll do that at the end. I have not cleaned it. Look at the gunpowder on my hands just from touching it where I've shot this thing. And you can look down in here if you can see. It's completely accessible all the way down. You can clean that with a rod. Look at this. This is how you can see through the scope. See the crosshair? You gotta get it just right where you can see it and it'll open up for you. There you go. Here's the recoil pad. It says Remington on it. Stock polymer or plastic, and you take out this screw right there, and then this screw down in here. This whole thing comes out. This all attaches from here, so you can really get in there and clean it up. It's pretty cool. But basically what I told you about it at the beginning with John Moses Browning, that's how the 30-06 was born. And it is seriously like the most popular hunting cartridge here in my state, down here in Georgia. They have the gun season for hunting. Then they have bow season, where you can hunt with a bow and arrow. But that's only for a short time, and then they close that out so the guys with the rifles can come in and try to get them some meat on the table. Because some people out here, where I live, they procure their own food. They don't go to the grocery store. They'll go drop them a deer. You know, you get you a good 150-pound deer out here. That's enough food for a month. When you get him skinned, field dressed, which means gutted, and then processed at a processing plant. You can get sausage, you can get steaks, jerky, all kinds of things made from a deer. And that's enough food for a month for most people. Here's the safety. You click it forward, fire, back is safe. I got the sling on here. I bought this sling. This is a gallon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Very nice. This isn't made to like carry it like this. You put it up on your shoulder. It's a shoulder strap like a guitar. So when you're walking through the woods, you can have this over your shoulder and your gun's not in your way. And safety for hunting, man. If you're going to be hunting somewhere where you have to climb over a fence to get where you're going, in the book that I took from 7th grade, when I got my hunter safety course, you're supposed to take the gun and put it across the fence first before you climb over the fence. Because you could fall with this on your shoulder and it hit the ground, bump this safety, and accidentally, click, and then bang. And you done shot yourself with a 30-06. And that's not good. That happened to my great uncle. Shot himself with his gun when he was hunting. Didn't kill him, but it hurt him pretty good. But that's what he was doing. He was crossing a fence. And he didn't follow that rule. And when he climbed over the fence, something happened with his pants leg, got caught in the barbed wire, and he fell on his back. The gun went off. I think the round went through the back of his leg, I believe. My mom told me about it. But it's pretty cool, man. This gun, she don't get shot too awful much, But when I do shoot it, it's really fun. The barrel is free-floated. See the gaps in here? See that gap there? Your barrel's not hugging this. I can put my fingernail up under it. So that when this heats up, when you're shooting, it doesn't bind into this and throw your accuracy off, as I've stated before. When you're hunting with one of these are not made to be shot a whole box through back to back to back to back. This barrel really heats up. You will start getting this thing in your vision where you can see the heat physically rising off the top of this barrel. And it blurs your vision up a little bit. And the hotter this barrel gets, the more your accuracy suffers. And it can also, if it gets too hot, it can warp the barrel. And the gun will never shoot right again. I'll give you a story about that. My buddy, Russell, that passed away a couple of years ago. He bought him a 30-06 from a pawn shop. And he lived up in Kentucky. And he called me up one night, we were talking. And then the next day, he messages me. And he says, there's a coyote in my yard, I believe it was. I was going to take that thing down because I don't want it to hurt my animals. And he said, I shot at this coyote with this 30-06 I've got here. I aimed for his head. And he was running. I was trying to lead it by moving the gun this way. When I shot, it was on his head, and it hit on his stomach and completely gutted that animal. And he was like, what? That don't make no sense. It was on his head. It was supposed to hit him right in the head. So he went out the next day, target practicing, and everything he shot missed because the barrel had gotten so hot from the previous owner that it warped it, so it was off. And there's no way to fix that. You can't reheat it really hot and try to bend this or anything like that. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. And once again, to the subscriber that has requested the gun stuff, man, I really appreciate it. And you giving me something else to yammer on about. And I'm glad that you're into it. And maybe other people that watch my channel are into this too. And what can you say about firearms? Always be safe, no matter what. Because one day when you think, I've been playing with them long enough, I ain't gonna get hurt with it, that's when you will. You gotta treat a firearm with respect. Because you're holding the power of life and death in your hands. And one wrong move, you can put someone's lights out, and you can't take it back. Any one of these guns that's in here with me could take my lights out. And that'd be the end of me. Even a 22. I'll get into that when we do the video on the 22. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe if you enjoy it. And share the video, maybe. I mean, I'm not the most comprehensive person when it comes to firearms, but I know a little bit. Apparently, too, you can unscrew that. I don't know how. That's like completely solid metal or solid steel. But you can take this off, and this whole barrel would detach, so you can clean it that way. Apparently, I don't know. Here's the zoom. The zoom for this scope. This is a really good scope. I mean, it's really clear. There's no fog in there. The crosshair is good. It's not broken. So, I think I got a good deal on this gun. I only paid $200 for it. Really nice. The 270 will be up next. That's my dad's favorite rifle. He loves 270. I'm partial to 30-06. Just because, playing video games and playing Medal of Honor and then finding out that rifle you use in that game is the M1 Garand, and it's chambered in 30-06 semi-automatic. That's what made me love it. And then I shot one for the first time. I shot a 30-06, and I had to have one. Now the M1 Garand, you can still get that gun. It's called it would be called a MILSERP now, which stands for military surplus. And you can find them in working condition. You can still shoot them. They still shoot great. But what you're going to pay for it, you think a Les Paul costs a lot? Try to find you one of those guns. You won't want to shell out the cash it takes to get one. So, once again, thanks for watching. Sorry I rambled on again, but that just popped into my head. And we'll put another gun up as soon as I can figure out which one comes next. Probably the 270 or the Glock 45 ACP. Thanks for watching, guys.